what do you think? What's our role, do you think?
So I come up with my own topics that I find interesting, do the research, and then make the video. If something is breaking news or something that is a huge thing, I think you have to cover it. I think that the problem is that there's a lot of people that have very thin skin in this industry. And I think when you are critical or you criticize a tournament organization or someone else, I think their first instinct is to get defensive or just stop talking to you. So I think as media, our job is to try to talk about the things that the fans are expressing.
My background is that I was a tournament fisherman in the 80s and the 90s, and then a friend of mine said, "Hey, I'm starting this internet radio station, and I need a fishing show." And so I said, "Okay," I did it, and I would come in and I would interview all these people. I mean, Gerald Swindle, all these. I mean, Mike Iaconelli was doing a tournament diary for me when he won the Classic, and so Mike and I always had that kind of that bond that he'd get off the water and we'd get on the phone and record interviews and stuff like that, and it was pretty neat. What I began to notice is a lot of these guys that I would talk to began reaching out to me because they couldn't say things that were really wrong. And when that professional anglers association came along in 2005, somewhere in that area, there was a lot of controversy. I always kind of refer to it as Bass Fishing's free agency. And I had a lot of people that would tell me things so that I could put it out there, off the record and so on. And I kind of see that as our role.
Recently, they've said to anglers, don't talk to these people. And sometimes they're trying to spread their narrative to the media, hoping that we'll go out there and just free for all say it. And that gets us in trouble. And I think that hurts us. But they've been very open about talking to media because they can't talk anymore. I think the anglers should be able to speak their mind without being fined or possibly kicked out of the league. It's a weird time in this industry.
Well, it's been this way. I was doing an internet radio show in 2001. Who knew that was going to be called a podcast?
Yeah, really.
Back then it was just an internet radio show. It hasn't changed. I mean, the organizations are very aware of their brands, and their brands are what they stand on, and they don't want anything bad to be said about their brands. And
they don't want anything to be. That's what the fans don't realize.
Yeah.
They'll hide it before they'll admit that it was bad.
Yeah, exactly. And it ends up blowing up in their faces time and time again.
Yeah.
Now, the word transparency is being used way too much today, but I mean, it is appropriate. I mean, even negative news is good. I mean, I can think of back in the days when Mike Iaconelli was doing all his bad boy stuff, and I mean, God, his popularity shot through the roof. And in ESPN, because they were the ones running Bass then, they love that stuff. They understood
exactly.
it. Nothing. The only bad news is no news.
I agree with you completely. I think all of them should realize that the transparency should be there for all of it.
Yeah.
And when it isn't, it, like you said, it blows up in their face.
We tend to judge the character of people in their toughest moments. And if you're a tournament organization, I think we judge your character based upon how you handle the difficulties. But that no information rule stuff, instead of trying to hide it and smooth it over, let it out and
deal with it up front.
Exactly. Ducket Fishing's Wheeler Signature 2.0. Jacob Wheeler, Bass fans' undisputed #1 ranked angler in the world. Jacob is very particular about the rods he fishes, and you can take advantage of this series that Jacob has designed for Ducket Fishing. Check out the Wheeler Signature 2.0 at ducketfishing.com. Reason number 5 why your next boat should be a Caymas. Our gas tank runs up the middle of our boat. With the need for more batteries in today's bass boats, Caymas runs our gas tank up the center of the boat. This gives us a better hole shot and a more stable ride. I'm Keith Neiswanger. This is the Bass 2 Anglers podcast. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you'd like to reach us, please send us a direct message on Instagram at Bass Tour Anglers Podcast. Take care. Be safe. We'll talk to you next time.